My precious child, stop for a moment and breathe, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. It is not random. It is not a coincidence that this message reached you on 2nd March 2026. God says, I need your 2 minutes only. Angels are speaking about your body because something serious is happening. You must not skip this. It's very important. Open this immediately on 2nd March 2026, before it's too late. This is not fear. This is divine urgency. There is something happening within your body right now that heaven has already seen. And before you panic, before your thoughts run wild, listen carefully, because this message is not sent to scare you but to protect you. In the spirit realm, there was a sudden movement. Angels gathered, not in chaos but in alertness. Your name was spoken. Your life was mentioned. Your body was brought into focus. You thought this was just another day. You thought your tiredness was normal. You thought those signals were nothing. But heaven does not ignore patterns. Heaven does not overlook whispers inside your flesh. Beloved, your body has been trying to speak to you. Small signs, unusual fatigue, a shift in your energy, a discomfort you brush aside. And while you continue with your routine, angels began watching more closely. This is why today matters. Because what is small now must not grow unnoticed. God is not accusing you. He is protecting you. He is not exposing you to shame you. He is alerting you to save you. There is a spiritual connection between your physical body and your emotional burdens. What you have been carrying in silence is now touching your physical strength. Stress you never released. Worries you never spoke. Pain you buried to stay strong. Your body absorbed it. And now heaven is intervening before it becomes heavier. Archangel Michael is standing as a guardian over you at this moment. Not with a sword of destruction, but with a shield of preservation. He is not fighting against you. He is fighting for you. There is a reason you felt drawn to open this message today instead of scrolling past it. There is a reason your spirit felt a slight pull. Because this is a checkpoint. The enemy tried to turn your exhaustion into neglect. Tried to convince you it's nothing. Tried to delay your attention. But God says, no more delay. This is not about fear of illness. This is about awareness, wisdom, care. Heaven is asking you to listen to your body carefully in the coming days. Hydrate more. Rest intentionally. Pay attention to unusual patterns. If something feels off, do not ignore it. You are not weak for taking care of yourself. You are wise. And here is the deeper truth that many do not understand. Sometimes the body carries spiritual warfare symptoms. When you have been under unseen pressure, when attacks were sent against your peace, your body becomes the battleground. But listen carefully. What the enemy meant to drain you, God is about to turn into discipline. What tried to exhaust you, God will use to redirect you. You are being slowed down on purpose. Because if you continued at the same speed, something greater could have been affected. Heaven is saying, pause, adjust, protect. There is also something else the angels are revealing. There is a hidden imbalance in your lifestyle. Not dramatic, not visible to others, but real. Your sleep pattern, your eating rhythm, your mental rest. One area is out of alignment, and alignment must be restored. Archangel Michael's presence right now is symbolic. He stands at doors. He guards thresholds. And today, he stands at the door of your physical well-being. This is a warning, but it is also a promise. A warning to not ignore your body. A promise that you are not alone in this. Do you know how many people receive signs and ignore them? Do you know how many regret not acting sooner? But you were stopped today. Not by accident. By design. God does not need hours of your time. He said 2 minutes. 2 minutes to awaken your awareness. 2 minutes to prevent something avoidable. 2 minutes to redirect your path. And if you are feeling something in your spirit right now, a slight seriousness, a quiet conviction, that is confirmation. This is not about predicting disaster. This is about preventing it. There is a window right now, a small window of correction. If you take it seriously, you will look back months from now and realize this message saved you from something bigger. And I need you to hear this clearly. Do not let fear enter. Let wisdom enter. Do not let anxiety grow. Let discipline grow. Do not assume the worst. Instead, choose awareness. Because heaven has already moved ahead of you. Archangel Michael has already positioned protection around your physical body. But protection works with cooperation. You must cooperate with your own care. In the coming days, if you feel led to check something medically, do it. If you feel prompted to change a habit, do it. If your body asks for rest, give it. You are not invincible. You are valuable. And valuable things are protected early. Today, 2nd March 2026, is not random. It is marked. Heaven marked it as a day of awareness for you. The question is, will you respond? Because something serious was trying to develop quietly. And this interruption, His message, is mercy. It is love. It is divine protection in motion. Take these 2 minutes seriously. Because obedience today becomes peace tomorrow. My chosen one, what I am about to reveal now goes deeper than you expect. What seemed physical has roots that stretch into the unseen. And if you understand this next layer, you will never treat your body casually again. There has been spiritual pressure around you for months. Not loud, not dramatic, but persistent. Small frustrations, delaying answers, emotional tension that never fully left. You smiled through it. You kept functioning. You told yourself you were fine. But heaven saw the silent weight you were carrying. Your body became the storage room for unspoken battles. When stress stays too long, it does not disappear. It settles. It changes breathing patterns. It alters sleep cycles. It died in the muscle. It drains energy slowly. And while doctors explain the physical side, angels observe the spiritual side. Archangel Michael has been assigned not because you are in immediate danger, but because you are at a turning point. There is a difference. The turning point is where direction changes. It is where a small adjustment prevents a large consequence. Something serious was forming not as punishment but as accumulation. Accumulation of neglect. Accumulation of overgiving. Accumulation of saying yes when your body was saying slow down. Heaven is correcting this now. There is also a specific area of your body that needs attention. You have already felt it. Maybe it is your head, your chest, your stomach, your back. You dismissed it as normal tiredness. But the angels are highlighting that exact area. Not to scare you, but to guide you toward awareness. Listen carefully to what you feel in the coming days. Do not ignore repeated signals. Patterns matter. Consistency matters. And early response changes outcomes. God is not saying something terrible will happen. God is saying something can be prevented. And prevention is mercy. You must understand this clearly. The enemy's strategy was not sudden destruction. It was slow erosion. Drain your energy, cloud your focus, make you careless with your own health. If he cannot stop your destiny directly, he tries to weaken your vessel. But your vessel is protected. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior of order. He does not only fight external battles, he enforces divine alignment. And right now, alignment is what your body needs. There is also an emotional release that must happen. There is someone you have not forgiven fully. There is something you replay in your mind. Attention, even if you think it is small, affects your physical state. Release is not weakness. Release is medicine. Over the next 7 days, pay attention to your habits, your water intake, your sleep hours, your posture, your breathing. These small things are not random details. They are correction points. And hear this clearly. If you feel prompted to consult a professional for any checkup, do not hesitate. Faith and wisdom walk together. Obedience sometimes looks like scheduling an appointment. You were not meant to carry everything alone. This message reached you because heaven refused to stay silent. And if this is already resonating with your spirit, I want you to engage with it. Like this message, share it with someone who has been ignoring their own health. Comment below and declare that you choose awareness over neglect. Subscribe to this channel if you are ready to receive divine alerts before problems grow. Join the membership if you want to stand in this covering regularly, because these warnings are not random content. They are strategic moments of protection. There is power in agreement. When you interact, you are not just supporting a video. You are declaring that you will not ignore divine instruction. And there is more unfolding. Because what the angels are about to reveal next explains why this timing, 2nd March 2026, is spiritually significant for your body. The date is not symbolic by accident. There is a pattern connected to cycles in your life. You will not want to miss what is coming, because the next revelation exposes why this season has felt heavier physically than the last one. Something shifts when you understand timing. Hold your focus here. What comes next will connect the physical signs with a spiritual calendar you did not even realize you were in. Beloved soul, now we enter the layer that explains why this exact date carries weight in the spirit. This is not superstition. This is not numerology for entertainment. This is about timing, alignment, and divine interaction. 2nd March 2026 marks a spiritual checkpoint in your life cycle. There are seasons when heaven allows momentum, and there are seasons when heaven enforces evaluation. You have just stepped into evaluation. Not because you failed, not because you sinned, but because you are advancing. When advancement comes, strengthening must follow. The angels revealed that the past 12 months were a season of output for you. You gave more than you received. You supported others emotionally. You carried responsibilities quietly. You handled pressure without complaint. But what you did not notice was the cost. Your body paid for your silence. There were nights your mind stayed active long after your body wanted rest. There were mornings you woke up already tired. There were days you ignored hydration, skipped proper meals, or postponed rest because something felt more urgent. Urgency became your lifestyle. And heaven says urgency without balance becomes erosion. Archangel Michael stepped in not because something catastrophic was seconds away, but because the accumulation reached a spiritual threshold. When thresholds are crossed, intervention is activated. This is that intervention. There is something serious happening, but it is serious in the sense of direction, not destruction. Your body hath been signaling imbalance. Hormonal shifts, nervous tension, inflammation patterns, digestive irregularity, headaches, or unexplained fatigue. These are not random discomforts. They are coded messages from your system, and heaven is translating them for you. You are not meant to operate on survival mode. You are not designed to live in constant internal alertness. Your nervous system had been on guard for too long. Even when nothing dramatic is happening externally, your internal state has remained tense. Why? Because you have been anticipating problems before they appear, preparing for disappointment before it happens, expecting stress before the day even begins. That expectation drains life. The angels are showing that your body is asking for restoration, not endurance. Restoration is different. Endurance pushes through. Restoration pauses and rebuilds. This date was marked for a reason. March is a month of transition between seasons. And spiritually, you are transitioning from survival to stability. But stability requires recalibration. You must change something intentionally this month. It may be your sleep schedule. It may be reducing certain food. It may be cutting off draining conversations. It may be finally addressing a lingering medical concern you postpone. Whatever it is, you already know what it is. Your spirit hath been nudging you. Archangel Michael's presence symbolizes courage. Sometimes courage is not fighting battles. Sometimes courage is admitting you need care. Do not confuse busyness with purpose. Do not confuse exhaustion with productivity. And do not confuse ignoring pain with strength. You are not weak for resting. You are wise for responding. There is also something deeper the angels are revealing. A generational pattern around health exists in your bloodline. You have seen certain conditions affect family members. Quietly, a fear has lived inside you that the same could happen to you. A fear has created subconscious tension. Heaven is addressing both the physical and the inherited fear. You are not bound to repeat what you have seen, but you must act with awareness instead of anxiety. Faith does not deny reality. Faith partners with wisdom to prevent it. The next 30 days are crucial for adjustment. What you do in this window matters more than you realize. Small disciplines will produce disproportionate peace. Drink water intentionally. Stretch your body. Breathe deeply. Schedule that checkup if needed. Reduce unnecessary stress exposure. These are not casual suggestions. They are divine corrections. And hear this clearly. Nothing is too far gone. Nothing is irreversible. This message came early enough. Heaven does not warn without providing protection. Right now, there is a shield over your body. Archangel Michael stands guard not only spiritually, but symbolically, reminding you that your life has assignment left. You are not near your end. You are near refinement. The enemy hoped fatigue would distract you from destiny, but fatigue will now become your teacher. Let this date mark the day you chose awareness. Let this be the moment you stopped ignoring subtle signs. Let this be the day you partnered with heaven for your own well-being. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, if you feel that confirmation deep inside, then respond in faith. Type "I choose restoration" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2026 has just been released over your body and your future. And as this code of restoration settles over you, understand something powerful. When you sow into messages that awaken souls, you become part of heaven's strategy. When you release a super thanks, join the membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a channel. You are fueling a river of warning and protection that reaches people before it is too late. God says, "As you pour, I will pour back into you." This is not a transaction. It is a prophetic exchange. The same way heaven interrupted your timeline today, your seed can interrupt someone else's silent struggle. Imagine one tired soul receiving this alert in time because you chose to act. That is harvest. That is light pushing back darkness. If your spirit is stirred right now, that stirring is your moment. Do not delay obedience. Release your support as an act of alignment. And as you do, may restoration multiply in your body, your home, and your bloodline. Act now and seal this word with faith. Faithful heart, now that restoration has been declared, you must understand how to walk it out. A prophetic warning means nothing if it is not followed by prophetic action. Awareness without movement becomes wasted mercy. What began as a spiritual alert must now become a disciplined response. There is a rhythm your body was originally designed to follow. Way, nuri, woo, work, est, restore. But over time, that rhythm was interrupted. Deadlines replaced breathing. Notifications replaced silence. Pressure replaced peace. And slowly, your internal harmony shifted. You adapted, but adaptation is not always alignment. The angels are revealing that your body had been compensating for imbalance. When you deprived it of rest, it demanded it through fatigue. When you ignored hydration, it signaled through headaches. When you carried emotional strain, it tightened muscles and disrupted digestion. Your body has not been attacking you. It has been protecting you. Archangel Michael's presence in this season is not only about defense. It is about restructuring. He is known as a warrior, but he is also a restorer of order. And order is what heaven is restoring in your physical life. There is something you must confront honestly. You have normalized feeling slightly unwell. You have accepted minor discomfort as your baseline. You forgot what fully energized feels like. That acceptance quietly lowered your standards for health. But heaven is raising the standard again. This is the season where you refuse to function at 70%. You were created for clarity, strength, and steadiness, not constant depletion. The spiritual calendar has shifted. What was tolerated in the last season will not be tolerated now. Your assignment ahead requires sharper focus and stronger endurance. That means your vessel must be maintained intentionally. There is also a connection between your environment and your physical state. Look around your space. Is it cluttered? Is it chaotic? Is it lacking fresh air and light? Your surroundings influence your nervous system more than you realize. Clean space supports clear breathing. Order outside calms the inside. Heaven is calling you to reset your environment as part of your healing. You may also need to evaluate the voices around you. Some conversations drain you. Some people subtly increase tension. This does not mean you reject them with anger. It means you protect your energy with wisdom. Energy is sacred. Archangel Michael stands at spiritual gates, and now you must stand at the gates of your own boundaries. Not every demand deserves your yes. Not every request deserves your immediate response. Part of what made this situation serious was overextension. You gave beyond your capacity. You worked beyond your limits. You carrying what was not yours to carry. And while you were being strong for others, your body absorbed the cost. This is not guilt. This is revelation. God is not disappointed in you. He is inviting you into stewardship. Stewardship means treating your body as entrusted, not owned. It is a gift, not a machine. There is also something shifting hormonally and neurologically due to prolonged stress. When the body stays in fight or flight mode for extended periods, it forgets how to relax. Even during rest, the mind stays alert. Even during sleep, the body remains tense. That cycle must break, and the coming days introduce intentional calm. Slow breathing exercises, gentle stretching before bed, reduced screen time at night. These small adjustments retrain your nervous system. They signal safety. Safety allows healing. And here is the deeper spiritual truth. When you choose peace intentionally, you resist the enemy's strategy. Chaos weakens clarity, but peace strengthens discernment. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your body, he is guarding your future decisions. A tired mind makes rushed choices. An exhausted body tolerates what it should reject. Restoration protects judgment. There is something ahead that requires sharp perception, and you cannot perceive clearly if your body is constantly overwhelmed. This is why heaven interrupted you now. There is also a need to check your spiritual intake. Have you been feeding your spirit as consistently as you feed your responsibilities? When the spirit is nourished, the body often stabilizes. Prayer reduces stress hormones. Gratitude shifts brain chemistry. Worship realigns focus. You are a whole being. Spirit, mind, and body are interconnected. The seriousness of this message lies in prevention. If you ignore these corrections, small imbalances can expand over months. But if you respond now, you will see noticeable improvement sooner than you expect. This is not dramatic prophecy. This is disciplined obedience. And let this truth settle deeply. You are not fragile. You are under protection. The warning came early because your life carries value. The next revelation will uncover a hidden trigger you have not recognized yet. Something subtle but powerful. Once exposed, it will make everything clearer. Stay attentive, because what is about to be revealed connects your physical symptoms to a decision you made in the past that is still affecting your body today. Brave soul, what is about to be uncovered now may surprise you, because it does not look spiritual at first glance. It looks like a simple decision. A moment from your past that you barely think about anymore. But heaven has traced a line from that moment to the way your body feels today. There was a decision you made out of pressure, not peace. It may have been accepting a responsibility too quickly. It may have been staying in an environment longer than you should have. It may have been agreeing to something that your intuition quietly resisted. At the time, it seemed necessary, logical, even unavoidable. But your body knew it was misaligned. When we override our inner warning system repeatedly, the body compensates. Every time you silence that inner hesitation, tension increased slightly. Not enough to alarm you immediately, but enough to register internally. Archangel Michael revealed that your spirit tried to alert you more than once. Through restlessness, through subtle discomfort, through moments of unexplained heaviness. Yet you pushed forward, believing endurance was strength. Endurance is strength when it is aligned. But endurance in misalignment becomes strain. This is not about regret. It is about awareness. The body stores memory. Not only physical memory, but emotional memory. When you stepped into that decision, you stepped into a prolonged state of alertness. Your nervous system began operating as if it needed to be prepared at all times. Prepared for conflict. Prepared for disappointment. Prepared for extra responsibility. That constant preparation is exhausting. Even if the situation improved later, your body never fully came out of defense mode. It stayed slightly guarded, slightly tense, slightly watchful. Over time, that low-level tension manifested physically. This is why heaven is bringing it to your attention now. Because you are no longer in that exact season, yet your body is still reacting as if you are. The external environment shifted, but the internal state did not fully reset. You must consciously signal safety to yourself. There is also an element of self-expectation that played a role. You placed high standards on yourself. You believed you had to handle everything flawlessly. You rarely allowed yourself to admit overwhelm. You believed slowing down meant falling behind. But heaven is correcting that mindset. Archangel Michael does not fight every battle personally. Sometimes he delegates. Sometimes he stands still because protection is already established. In the same way, you do not have to personally solve every issue in your life. Delegation is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Pausing is not failure. Your body became serious because it was tired of being ignored. Not angry. Not broken. Just tired. There is a difference between a crisis and a warning. A crisis shouts. A warning whispers. Right now, you are still in the whisper stage. That is mercy. You may also notice that certain times of the day feel heavier than others. Perhaps mornings feel slow. Perhaps afternoons drain you suddenly. These patterns are clues. They reveal where your energy dips most. Pay attention without panic. Something powerful happens when you observe your body without fear. Observation replaces anxiety with understanding. There is another hidden trigger the angels are highlighting. Your breathing. Under stress, your breathing became shallow. Short breath signaled urgency to the brain. The brain responds by increasing stress hormones. The cycle continues quietly. Intentional deep breathing can reset that cycle. It sounds simple, but simplicity is often divine. Archangel Michael's role in this season is to cut through unnecessary complexity. You do not need dramatic solutions. You need consistent small corrections. Drink water before you feel thirsty. Rest before you feel exhausted. Stretch before stiffness becomes pain. Speak your boundaries before resentment builds. These are preventative acts of wisdom. And hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are being recalibrated. The seriousness of this message lies in timing. If you continued ignoring these signs for another 6 months, patterns could deepen. But because you are aware now, you are ahead. Heaven intervened at the whisper, not the breakdown. There is something ahead in your path that requires renewed energy, a new opportunity, a shift in direction, a responsibility that will bring growth, not strain. But to step into it fully, you must release the old tension first. Your body cannot carry yesterday's defense into tomorrow's expansion. This is the moment you choose differently. In the next revelation, something even more specific will be addressed. The pattern, connected to sleep and late-night thinking that have been silently affecting your internal balance. Stay attentive. What is about to be exposed may change the way you end your days forever. Steadfast one. Now we are arriving at a pattern that has quietly shaped your physical condition more than you realize. It is not dramatic. It does not look dangerous. But it has been consistent. And consistency, whether good or bad, always produces results. Your nights have not been true rest. Even when your body lies down, your mind continues running. You replay conversations. You imagine future scenarios. You anticipate problems that have not happened. You analyze decisions repeatedly. And while the world sees you sleeping, your nervous system remains alert. This is the hidden strain. Archangel Michael revealed that many of your physical symptoms are linked to unprocessed nighttime tension. The body repairs itself during deep rest. Hormones regulate. Cells restore. Inflammation reduces. But when sleep is shallow or interrupted by racing thoughts, restoration is incomplete. Incomplete restoration accumulates. You may wake up feeling as though you never fully slept. You may depend heavily on caffeine or stimulation to function. You may feel slight dizziness, brain fog, or unusual irritability during the day. These are not random weaknesses. They are signals of interrupted recovery cycles. Heaven is not condemning you for this. Heaven is showing you the doorway to correction. Here is a specific time at night when your thoughts intensify. Pay attention to it. That hour is when your guard lowers and suppressed emotions rise. Instead of allowing yourself to process calmly, you try to suppress again. That suppression keeps the cycle active. It is time to change how you end your day. The angels are encouraging a new ritual. Before sleep, release the day intentionally. Speak out loud what you are handing over to God. Name your worries instead of carrying them silently. Breathe slowly and deeply until your body feels heavier, not tense. These small practices retrain your internal system. Archangel Michael's protective presence is not only external, it is also internal reinforcement. When you consciously choose peace at night, you align with that protection. You tell your mind that it does not need to stay on guard. You are safe. There is also something important about light exposure late at night. Screens, artificial brightness, constant scrolling. These overstimulate your brain. Your body confuses it for daytime alertness. Reducing that stimulation 30 to 60 minutes before sleep can shift your entire recovery pattern. The seriousness of what was forming in your body was linked to chronic underrest. Not immediate collapse, but gradual depletion. And depletion weakens immunity, focus, and emotional stability. But the good news is this: sleep restoration can reverse much of that process faster than you expect. You are not trapped in damage. You are positioned for correction. There is also a spiritual dimension to nighttime. It is when thoughts amplify. It is when fear tries to speak louder. If you do not intentionally guard your mind, anxiety fills the silence. That anxiety subtly impacts your heart rate and breathing rhythm. This is why the angels intervene now. You were entering a cycle where exhaustion would start affecting your decision-making. And decisions made from exhaustion often lack clarity. Your future requires clarity. If this message is awakening something inside you right now, do not stay silent about it. Like this message as a declaration that you choose restoration. Share it with someone who struggles with restless nights. Comment below if you are ready to reclaim your peace after dark. Subscribe to this channel and join the membership if you desire continued guidance and spiritual alignment, because these revelations are not entertainment, they are lifelines. When you engage, you strengthen the atmosphere of awareness not just for yourself but for others listening. And listen carefully now, because what comes next connects your nighttime patterns to a deeper emotional root that has been hidden beneath productivity and responsibility. There is a specific emotion you rarely allow yourself to feel fully. It surfaces at night when distractions fade. Instead of acknowledging it, you push it away. That avoidance keeps your nervous system unsettled. In the next unfolding, that emotion will be named clearly. And when it is named, it will lose much of its power. Remain attentive. This is where understanding shifts into breakthrough. You will want to hear what heaven exposes next. Attentive heart. Now we arrive at the emotion that has been quietly shaping your physical condition. It is not anger. It is not obvious fear. It is something more subtle, more hidden, yet deeply influential. It is a resolved disappointment. Not one dramatic event, but layered disappointments over time. Expectations that did not unfold the way you hoped. Prayers that felt delayed. Efforts that were not fully recognized. Promises that shifted. You told yourself you understood. You told yourself you had moved on. But your body recorded what your mouth dismissed. Disappointment that is not processed does not disappear. It transforms into tension. Archangel Michael revealed that this emotion had been sitting beneath your productivity. You kept moving forward to avoid sitting with it. You filled your schedule to avoid feeling it. You stayed useful to avoid acknowledging it. But nighttime exposed it. When everything became quiet, the disappointment resurfaced as overthinking, as restlessness, as tightness in your chest or heaviness in your stomach. You did not label it as disappointment. You labeled it as stress. But at its root, it was unmet expectation. Heaven is not criticizing you for feeling this. Heaven is validating that your emotions matter. Strength does not mean numbness. Faith did not mean pretending something did not hurt. There was a specific moment, perhaps months ago, when something did not go the way you deeply hoped. You adjusted externally, but internally you hardened slightly. That hardness became subtle armor. And armor, while protective, is heavy. You have been wearing emotional armor for too long. Your body feels the weight of it. This is why fatigue has lingered. Emotional suppression consumes energy. It requires constant internal effort to hold feelings down. Over time, that effort manifests physically. Archangel Michael stands not only as a warrior but as a remover of false armor. In this season, he's helping you lay it down. You do not need to brace for impact anymore. You are not in that same vulnerable space. The seriousness of what was forming in your body was tied to prolonged emotional guarding. When the heart remains slightly guarded, muscles remain slightly tense. When trust feels fragile, the nervous system stays alert. But something has shifted spiritually. You are no longer in the same level of threat you once felt. Yet your body has not fully received that update. So now you must consciously release. Release does not mean forgetting. It means acknowledging and surrendering. Speak the disappointment out loud in prayer. Admit where it hurt. Admit where it confused you. Admit where it made you question yourself. Healing begins with honesty. There is also forgiveness involved. Not necessarily dramatic betrayal, but subtle letdowns. Small moments where someone did not show up the way you expected. Even forgiving yourself for decisions you second-guessed. Every unresolved fragment adds weight. Heaven is inviting you into lightness. When disappointment is processed, the body relaxes. Breathing deepens naturally. Sleep improves. Digestion stabilizes. Energy becomes steadier. The connection between emotion and physiology is not mystical, it is real. You were never weak. You were carrying invisible layers. Archangel Michael's intervention at this time is strategic. There is a new opportunity forming on your horizon. But if you enter it with unhealed disappointment, you will approach it cautiously, defensively, expecting similar outcomes. Heaven wants you open, not guarded. The next season requires confidence, not quiet resignation. That is why this message arrived before your body reached a breaking point. Breaking was not the plan. Breaking would have delayed you. Restoration accelerates you. There is something else the angels are showing. Your body has already started responding to this awareness. Even as you listen, something feels lighter. Not dramatic, but noticeable. That is confirmation. You are responding correctly. Over the next few days, pay attention to moments when emotion surfaces unexpectedly. Instead of suppressing it, pause. Breathe. Let it pass through instead of locking it inside. This simple shift can change you more than medication ever could alone. And do not misunderstand. Medical wisdom and spiritual wisdom can walk together. If you need support, seek it. But do not ignore the emotional root while only treating the symptom. You are whole, and wholeness requires integration. The next revelation will address something connected to your voice. Something about what you have not said out loud to certain people. That silence has influenced your physical state more than you realize. Stay with this. The clarity that is about to unfold will complete a pattern you did not know was connected. Enduring spirit. What the angels are unveiling now may be the most personal layer yet. It is not about what you did. It is not even about what you felt. It is about what you never said. There are words that remain trapped inside you. Conversations you rehearsed but never had. Truth you softened to keep peace. Boundaries you felt but did not enforce. Questions you swallowed because you did not want to seem difficult. Each unspoken sentence did not vanish. It settled inside your body. Your throat tightened at times for a reason. Your jaw clenched without you noticing. Your shoulders carried invisible weight. Silence is a physical cost. Archangel Michael revealed that your voice has been restrained more by caution than by fear. You calculated outcomes before speaking. You prioritized harmony over honesty. You believed that staying quiet preserved relationships. But suppressed truth creates internal pressure. Your body has been holding conversations that never took place. The seriousness that was developing physically is directly connected to this internal compression. When expression is blocked, stress accumulates. The nervous system stays slightly activated. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles around the neck and upper back stiffen. This is not coincidence. Heaven is not instructing you to confront aggressively. Heaven is instructing you to communicate clearly. There is a difference. Strength can be calm. Boundaries can be gentle. Archangel Michael stands at gates. Gates are places of entry and exit. Your mouth is a gate. What enters through words spoken to you and what exits through words spoken by you shapes your internal environment. You have allowed certain words to enter without challenge, and you have withheld certain words that needed to exit. That imbalance must be corrected. There is a specific person or situation where your silence has been heavy. You feel it even now. It may involve family, work, or a close connection. You avoided addressing it because you feared conflict or misunderstanding. But unresolved silence does not maintain peace. It maintains tension. Your body knows the difference between peace and suppression. The angels are guiding you toward measured expression. Not impulsive reactions, but prepared clarity. Write down what you have been wanting to say. Pray over it. Refine it. Then release it calmly when the moment is right. You are not responsible for how others react. You are responsible for communicating truth with respect. When you do this, something powerful will shift inside you. The tightness you have normalized will begin to ease. Your breathing will deepen. Your sleep will gradually improve. Emotional clarity will strengthen your physical resilience. This is not grammatic prophecy. This is divine psychology. Heaven cares about your wholeness. And wholeness includes your voice. There is also a spiritual dimension here. The enemy benefits when you stay muted. Not because you are meant to argue, but because clarity dismantles confusion. When you remain unclear, misunderstandings grow. Misunderstandings create tension. Tension drains energy. Archangel Michael's intervention ensures that your silence does not turn into self-betrayal. You were not created to disappear to keep others comfortable. You were not designed to shrink your truth to maintain fragile stability. The season ahead requires you to speak with alignment, and alignment reduces internal strain. The seriousness that heaven interrupted was the slow buildup of internal pressure from unspoken truth layered over unresolved disappointment and restless nights. All of it interconnected. All of it manageable once exposed. And now it has been exposed. You may feel nervous about speaking up. That is natural. But remember this: courage is not loud. Courage is steady. It does not scream. It stands. Archangel Michael's presence symbolizes that steadiness. You are not confronting alone. You are supported spiritually as you step into clarity. In the coming weeks, you will notice opportunities to speak differently. Small moments where you would normally stay silent. Take them as practice. Each time you communicate honestly and calmly, you retrain your nervous system. Expression replaces compression. Lightness replaces heaviness. Clarity replaces tension. If this message has illuminated something specific in your life, respond in faith. Type "I speak with alignment" in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 818 has just been activated over your voice and your body. And as you step into alignment, understand this sacred truth. When you sow into a word that restores voices, you become a partner in healing silence across nations. When you release a super thanks, join the membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting content. You are unlocking courage in hidden hearts. God declares, as you open your hand, I will open doors before you. This is a prophetic exchange. Your seed becomes oil that keeps this light burning for someone who feels unheard tonight. If your spirit feels stirred, that stirring is your invitation. Do not hesitate. Act in obedience. Release your support as a declaration that truth will not be silenced. And as you give, may clarity, strength, and divine protection overflow in your body and your household. Step forward now and seal this alignment with action. Waken, soul, now that your voice has been addressed. Heaven is drawing your attention to one final layer that ties everything together. This layer is subtle, yet it has quietly influenced your body, your thoughts, and your energy for longer than you realize. It is the pattern of self-neglect disguised as responsibility. You have been dependable for everyone else. You show up. You respond. You solve problems. You carry weight without complaint. People rely on you because you rarely say no. And over time, being needed became part of your identity. But in becoming reliable for others, you slowly became unreliable to yourself. You postponed your own checkups. You delayed your own rest. You ignored your own signals. Not because you did not care, but because you believed someone else's need was more urgent. Archangel Michael revealed that this pattern was noble in intention but damaging in practice. Responsibility is admirable. Sacrifice can be holy. But when sacrifice becomes constant without renewal, it turns into depletion. And depletion was the serious path forming beneath the surface. You did not wake up one day exhausted. Accumulated. Small decisions repeated daily. Choosing one more task instead of one more hour of sleep. Answering one more message instead of taking one more deep breath. Agreeing to one more obligation instead of honoring one quiet need. The body keeps count. The angels are showing that your physical condition became serious not because of a single event, but because of a lifestyle pattern. a pattern where your value felt connected to your productivity. You felt useful when busy. You felt worthy when needed. You felt strong when carrying weight. But heaven is shifting that identity now. Your worth is not measured by exhaustion. Your strength is not proven by burnout. Your value is not validated by overextension. Archangel Michael stands as a protector of divine identity. In this season, he is guarding you from defining yourself by strain. There is a difference between purpose and pressure. Purpose energizes. Pressure drains. You were operating under pressure longer than necessary. There is also something deeper. You feared disappointing people, so you disappointed your body instead. You feared letting others down, so you let your own limits be crossed. This must change. Not dramatically, not aggressively, but consistently. In the coming days, you will be given small opportunities to choose differently. To say, "I will get back to you," instead of immediately saying yes. To schedule your own appointment before scheduling another commitment. To rest without apologizing for it. These small shifts will feel uncomfortable at first. But discomfort is growth. A seriousness of what was forming in your body was linked to chronic self-neglect. And self-neglect is often invisible because society praises it as dedication. But heaven sees the cost. Archangel Michael's intervention is not only about preventing illness. It is about preventing identity distortion. You are not a machine. You are not a constant provider of energy. You are a living being designed for cycles of giving and receiving. Receiving is not selfish. It is sustaining. You must learn to receive rest, receive help, receive understanding, receive space. The moment you allow yourself to receive, your nervous system begins to soften. Toughness is not weakness. Softness is restoration. There is also a shift coming in your external environment. A situation that once required heavy involvement will ease. The responsibility will be redistributed. The burden will lighten. But you must be healthy enough to step into the lighter season. If you continued the same pattern, even a lighter load would still feel heavy. This is why heaven corrected you now. You may already sense a subtle relief as you listen. That relief is confirmation that this message is aligning you, not condemning you. And understand this clearly. Nothing irreversible has happened. Your body is resilient. It is responsive. Once you honor it consistently, it will respond with strength. You are not late. You are being realigned at the right time. In the next unfolding, heaven will reveal how this correction connects to a new assignment forming in your near future. Something that requires clarity, steadiness, and renewed physical strength. Stay attentive. What is about to be revealed will show you why protecting your body now is directly connected to doors that are about to open. Steady, warrior. Now heaven reveals why this correction had to come before the next door opens. What you thought was only about your body is actually preparation for your assignment. There is a shift approaching in your life. Not distant. Not vague. Closer than you think. It may appear as a new opportunity, a new responsibility, a relocation, a collaboration, or a leadership position you did not expect. But whatever form it takes, it will require a stronger, clearer, more stable version of you. And that version cannot operate from exhaustion. Archangel Michael does not only fight battles behind you. He goes ahead of you. He secures territories before you step into them. And right now, he is preparing ground that you will soon walk on. But preparation always demands readiness. If your body remained depleted, you would either reject the opportunity out of fatigue or mishandle it because of low energy. Heaven refused to let that happen. That is why the interruption came on 2nd March 2026. This was not random emergency. It was strategic timing. There is something specific about your decision-making in the coming months. You will be required to think clearly under pressure. You will need emotional balance. You will need physical stamina. You will need discernment that is not clouded by stress. Exhaustion distorts perception. When the body is drained, small problems feel overwhelming. When sleep is broken, patience shortens. When emotions are suppressed, reactions become unpredictable. Heaven is restoring you so that you respond wisely, not react impulsively. There is also a financial component connected to what is ahead. A decision involving resources, investment of time, energy, or money. If you were operating from depletion, fear might guide your choice instead of clarity. But clarity is returning. Archangel Michael's presence signals that protection is active over your path. But protection does not eliminate responsibility. You must steward your body as carefully as you steward opportunities. You are being upgraded, and upgrades require maintenance. You may already sense anticipation in your spirit, a feeling that something new is forming. That feeling is not imagination. It is alignment. The correction happening now ensures that when the door opens, you walk through it with strength instead of hesitation. Do not underestimate how physical health influences spiritual obedience. A tired body resists risk. A restored body embraces growth. The seriousness of what was forming could have slowed your momentum right before acceleration. But heaven intervened at the perfect time. There is something else important. Your influence is expanding. More people are watching you than you realize. Your decisions will affect others. Your energy will set atmosphere. If you are drained, those around you feel it. If you are steady, others stabilize. You are not only healing for yourself, you are strengthening for impact. Archangel Michael stands as a commander of angelic armies. And though you may not see yourself as a leader, you carry influence in your circle. That influence must be supported by internal stability. Over the next few weeks, you will notice small confirmations that change is near. Conversations that hint at opportunity. Invitations that feel unexpected. Ideas that spark with unusual clarity. When they appear, do not doubt your readiness. This restoration is making room. If this message is awakening expectation inside you, engage with it. Like this message as a declaration that you are ready for what is coming. Share it with someone who feels on the edge of breakthrough. Comment below and declare that you choose strength over strain. Subscribe to this channel and join the membership if you want continued prophetic alignment as new doors approach. When you engage, you step into agreement with the preparation happening in your life. And listen closely now, because what comes next is crucial. The final revelation will explain how to maintain this restoration long-term so that what almost became serious never returns in the same way again. You will not want to miss this final unfolding. It completes the protection that began on this marked date. Faithful one, now we come to the maintenance of what heaven has restored. Direction without continuation fades. Awareness without consistency weakens. What almost became serious was stopped, but it must now be permanently prevented. This is where discipline becomes devotion. Archangel Michael's intervention created a turning point, but sustaining that turning point is your responsibility. Protection was activated, but participation keeps it strong. You cannot return to the patterns that nearly drained you and expect different results. There must be a new standard. The angels are showing that long-term restoration will not come from dramatic changes, but from repeated small commitments. The body responds to rhythm. When rhythm stabilizes, strength returns naturally. You must build non-negotiables. Not extreme rules, but steady habits. A consistent sleep window. Attention hydration. Regular movement. Honest communication. Emotional processing instead of suppression. These are not temporary adjustments. They are your new baseline. The seriousness that was forming in your body develops slowly. Prevention will also work steadily. There is also something spiritual that must remain consistent. Gratitude. When you practice gratitude daily, stress levels decrease. Perspective shifts. The nervous system softens. Gratitude is not only spiritual, it is physiological alignment. Each morning, before rushing into responsibility, pause. Breathe deeply. Acknowledge protection. Acknowledge progress. Acknowledge that you were warned in time. That pause recalibrates your system before the day begins. Archangel Michael stands at thresholds. Every morning is a threshold. You step from rest into activity, from stillness into demand. If you rush through that gate without grounding yourself, tension follows you. But if you enter the day intentionally, stability carries forward. There is another element that must remain consistent: boundaries. You have learned the cost of overextension. Do not forget it when new opportunities arise. Just because you are stronger does not mean you should return to overload. Strength is meant for impact, not for abuse. The next season will test this gently. You will be offered tasks, invitations, responsibilities. Some will be aligned. Some will be distractions disguised as importance. Discernment must guide you. A restored body feels different. You will notice the difference when something aligns versus when it drains. Pay attention to that signal. The angels are also highlighting nutrition. Not perfection, but awareness. What you consume affects your energy, clarity, and mood. Choose nourishment that supports your goals instead of momentary comfort that creates long-term imbalance. This is stewardship. There is a tendency in you to return to old habits once crisis passes. Because now that you feel better, urgency fades. But do not wait for symptoms to remind you again. Prevention is easier than recovery. Heaven interrupted you before breakdown. Honor that mercy. Archangel Michael's protection is active, but it does not replace discipline. Divine covering and human responsibility work together. When you honor your body consistently, you remain aligned with the protection declared over you. You may also need to monitor your thought patterns long term. Nighttime rumination, self-criticism, silent disappointment, these must not return unchecked. When you notice them beginning, address them early. Early correction prevents escalation. There is something powerful about your testimony in this. One day you will look back at this marked moment and realize it was the shift that changed your trajectory. Not because something dramatic happened, but because something subtle was corrected in time. And here is the final maintenance key: community. Do not isolate yourself. Share your journey with someone trustworthy. Accountability strengthens discipline. Encouragement sustains momentum. You were not meant to heal alone. The angels are confirming that what almost became serious hath been reversed at its root. But the root must stay watered correctly. Watered with rest, with boundaries, with honesty, with gratitude. The next and final unfolding will seal this message with a prophetic declaration over your future. It will confirm what has been prevented and what is now being prepared. Stay present. The completion of this word carries blessing that you will not want to miss. Beloved child of God, this is the sealing of what began as an urgent interruption and has now become a divine realignment. What almost became serious hath been stopped. What was forming quietly has been exposed early. What was draining you has been corrected before damage could deepen. This was never about fear. It was about preservation. On 2nd March 2026, heaven marked your name for protection. Not because disaster was certain, but because destiny is. Archangel Michael was positioned not in reaction, but in anticipation. Before your body crossed a dangerous threshold, intervention stepped in. Before exhaustion distorted your next decision, awareness awakened you. Before silence turned into sickness, truth surfaced. This is how divine love works. It interrupts gently before it corrects painfully. You were not weak. You were overloaded. You were not failing. You were misaligned. You were not near collapse. You were near a turning point. And now the turning point has shifted you. The seriousness that was developing has been dismantled at its foundation. Emotional suppression hath been named. Nighttime unrest has been addressed. Unspoken words have been exposed. Self-neglect has been corrected. Identity distortion has been realigned. What remains now is forward movement. The angels are confirming something powerful. Your body will begin to respond quickly to these changes. Energy will stabilize. Sleep will improve. Tension will reduce. Not overnight perfection, but noticeable progress. That progress will be your confirmation that this message was timely. There is also acceleration ahead. The opportunity mentioned earlier is closer than you think. Within months, you will step into something that requires the very strength being restored now. And when you do, you will recognize why heaven refused to let you continue in depletion. Archangel Michael does not guard empty paths. He guards significant ones. Your path is significant. The enemy hoped exhaustion would delay you, but restoration will advance you. The enemy hoped silence would weaken you, but clarity will empower you. The enemy hoped self-neglect would shrink you, but stewardship will enlarge you. You are entering a season where balance becomes your advantage. Others will burn out. You will remain steady. Others will react impulsively. You will respond wisely. Others will overcommit. You will discern carefully. This is not coincidence. It is alignment. And hear this final truth clearly. You will not revisit the same silent pattern again in the same way. Awareness has changed you. Discipline has reshaped you. Protection has covered you. Archangel Michael's presence remains, but now it stands not only as a shield, but as a witness to your obedience, a witness to your adjustment, a witness to your strength returning. Heaven is satisfied with your response. Now seal this word with faith. Type "I am restored" and ready in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 3030 is now activated over your body, your mind, and your next season. And as this restoration settles over you, understand the weight of this moment. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a platform. You are sowing into divine interruptions that reach souls just before it is too late. God says, "When you water others, I will water you." Your seed becomes light for someone whose body is whispering for help tonight. This is not a donation. It is a prophetic act of alignment. The same way heaven stepped in for you, your obedience can position this message in front of someone standing at their own threshold. Do not hesitate. Release your support as an offering of gratitude for the warning that protected you. And as you give, may strength multiply in your body, may peace guard your mind, and may new doors open without resistance. Act now and seal this word with faith-filled obedience.